Hi, welcome to this session on anti-profiteering measures under GST. I am Chandan Goyal, founder and CEO of Blue Consulting Private Limited, which is an expert in managing the indirect tax compliances across pan-India level. We are a strong team of 115 people, and in the last 12 years we have worked with more than 100 reputed and professionally managed companies in India. In this video, we will talk about the anti-profiteering provisions under the GST law. We will talk about these measures in two parts. In the first part, we'll talk about the legal aspect, and the second part will talk about the current situation as on today related to anti-profiteering measures. So when the GST law was being drafted, the lawmakers inserted an important provisions to deal with certain set of taxpayers who will benefit from the introduction of GST and may not pass on that benefit to its customers. So section 171 was inserted in the CGST Act 2017 and it was named as anti-profiteering measures. So what are the benefits we are talking about actually? So with the introduction of GST, there can be two benefits to a business entity. One, due to reduction in the rate of tax, and second is the benefit of input tax credit, which was not available earlier. And the business entity is supposed to pass on these two benefits in the form of commensurate reduction in the final price of the goods or services which they are supplying it to the customer. Now, apart from this section 171, the rules were also notified by the central government to deal with the anti-profiteering measures. And these rules are contained in chapter 15 of the CGST rules 2017. So if we talk about the major highlights of the rules, the important provision is the institutional framework, how the anti-profiteering mechanism will work. And it talks about four important authorities in these rules which will be constituted or which will be formed as we go along. The first one is the National Authority or the National Anti-Profiteering Authority. For our discussion purpose in this video, we'll call it the authority. The second is the Director General of Safeguards. The third is the Standing Committee at the central level, and the fourth is Steering Committee at the state level. How this mechanism will work? Initially, when an aggrieved party put forward an application that there is an anti-profiteering case and it needs to be looked into, the Standing Committee will prima facie will see whether it's a fit case for anti-profiteering measures or not. And then will it pass on to the Steering Committee at the state level because it can deal with the issue better. And the Steering Committee will examine it and go through the various detail submitted by both the parties. And then it will submit its final report to the Director General of Safeguards. The Director General of Safeguards will further work on it and it will share the final report with the National Anti-Profiteering Authority. Once the National Anti-Profiteering Authority is satisfied, yes, there is a case that the benefit was not passed on by a business entity to its customer, then it can pass an order to the business entity and direct it to pass on the benefit to the customer along with a rate of 18% of interest. And in some severe cases, the authority can also cancel the registration of the business entity and it may also penalize the business entity. The tenure of this authority is initially has been kept 2 years since the time the chairman assumes the office, and the council can extend the duration if it is deemed fit. So these were the legal provisions related to the anti-profiteering mechanism. Now let's discuss about the current situation around anti-profiteering measures under GST. So recently on 16th November 2017, the Union Cabinet has cleared the establishing of National Anti-Profiteering Authority. Once this authority is established, then we can expect that the detailed guidelines on how this benefit needs to be calculated will be rolled out and it is expected by the end of December. Many of our clients and many other companies are getting the regular inquiries from their customers whether they have calculated the benefit which needs to be passed on to them. But as of now, there is no exact clarity because there is no methodology, no guidelines around this. And largely our anti-profiteering measures has been borrowed from two countries. One is Malaysia and second is Australia. And while computing the anti-profiteering measures or while computing the benefit which needs to be passed on to the customer, in both the countries the compliance cost is reduced from the benefit. And here also in India, we are expecting that the authority will share the methodology which will contain that the compliance cost which has increased after introduction of GST can be deducted while arriving at the final benefit. And one more important aspect we need to take care, the government need to take care when they are implementing these anti-profiteering measures, that it should not lead to excess litigation or corruption because while implementing these anti-profiteering measures, the case of Malaysia was not a happy one. So this brings us to the end of this video, where we talked about the legality or the legal aspects of the anti-profiteering and the current situation. If you have any questions related to anti-profiteering aspects, please feel free to write to us. Thank you so much.